It's your day in tech history, and it's brought to you by our friends over at DJI. Get yourself your own drone by going over to geekazine.com/DJI. Jeffrey Powers here. I welcome you to the Day in Tech History, a full rundown of technology history 7 days a week. Subscribe to the show via iTunes, Stitcher, or download right from dayintechhistory.com. Now let's find out what happened on this day, your day in tech history.
March 3rd. 1971, Magnavox signs an agreement with Sanders Associates for the exclusive licensing of television video game technology. Their first video game console, the Odyssey, was developed by Sanders by a team headed by Ralph Baer. 1972, NASA launches the Pioneer 10 spacecraft. It's a mission to become the first spacecraft to travel through the system's asteroid belt. 1973, the Unix timestamp hits 9 decimal digits at 9:46 a.m. 1975, the Homebrew Computer Club meets for the first time in a garage in Menlo Park, California. Fred Moore, Gordon French play host to about 30 microcomputer hobbyists to discuss the MITS Altair 8800, a computer that can be assembled at home from a kit. Later, we would see several high-profile hackers come from the Homebrew Computer Club, including, of course, the founders of Apple Computer, Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak. 1982, a United States federal appeals court in Chicago overturns an earlier U.S. decision and orders K.C. Munchkin, Pac-Man look-alike published in the North American corporation Philips Consumer Electronics off store shelves. It becomes one of the most popular character games for the Odyssey 2 game system. 1989, Commodore announces the A590 hard drive for the Amiga 500 and also reports that the A2286 AT bridge board had begun shipping in the previous week. 1991, the beating of Rodney King by Los Angeles police officers is captured on amateur video by the bystander George Holliday. Of course, the video which showed 4 officers restraining Rodney King, as 6 others watched, would be widely broadcast. 1995. Seiji Sanda, who is the president of Apple Japan, resigns over unresolved matters between Apple's American and Japanese companies. 1997, Intel begins shipping Pentium overdrive processors with MMX technology, $399 for 125 MHz and 150 MHz processors, and $499 for 166 MHz processors. Also in 1997, McAfee releases version 3 of Virus Scan with the Hunter virus detection engine. Sony Computer Entertainment of America announces a reduced suggested retail price of $149 for their PlayStation game console. And the website of Lauren International is the victim of a denial of service attack. 1998, Bill Gates appears at a Senate hearing to deny charges that Microsoft had sought to establish a monopoly in the operating system market. Jim Barksdale, president of Netscape Communication, also attends the hearing to make allegations that Microsoft had been systematically attempting to drive Netscape out of business. And in 1999, Activision and Expert Software jointly announce a merger, which Expert Software shareholders would receive about $2.65 a share, which would cost Activision about $23 million.
And now this word from our friends over at DJI Technologies. You know you want a drone. You're a techie kind of person. You like to have fun outdoors, and it is getting warmer now. It's kind of like when you were a kid and you got that first RC car, except this one flies. Connect the camera and record around your house. You can go to your park and put together some great videos of your kids playing ball, flying kites, and more. You can even get the ball or the kite's perspective. If you go over to geekazine.com/DJI, geekazine.com/DJI, you can get free shipping on that DJI Phantom 2. It's the one that I have and use all around Madison here. Then go out to the park and have yourself some fun. Geeky fun with DJI Technologies and the Phantom 2 drone. Now let's get back into your day in tech history.
In 2000, AMD announces that it's phasing out its K6-3 processor line. 2001, Perlita releases version 0.5.4 of the Crux operating system. 2002, Palm releases or introduces the Palm M130 handheld computer, featuring a 1.8 by 1.8 inch 65,000 color display, USB docking cradle, for about $279. Palm also introduced the Palm M515 handheld computer to replace the M505 that had a slightly larger screen at 2.2 inches by 2.2 inches. And same pretty much thing, and the same settings except for 16 megabytes of RAM for $399. 2003, version 8.4.2 of the TCL/TK programming language is released. 2005, Arkansas State Legislature, Senator Sean Womack introduces a bill that would require stores that rent or sell games with an entertainment software rating board, a rating of M, to display them at a minimum height of 5 feet from the floor. Also in 2005, the first solo non-stop and fastest flight around the world without refueling ends when Steve Fawcett sets down at Salina Municipal Airport in Saline County, Kansas, 67 hours after taking off from that same location. And officials report that computers at the admission departments of the business schools of Harvard University, MIT, and Stanford, among others, were hacked by someone using the handle Brook Bond. And in 2009, it's officially Pi Day, as the date went 3/03/09. Also in 2009, Skype announces that they will be working with Spinvox to provide voice-to-SMS messaging in 4 languages. Amazon launches an iPhone application of their book reader software. Apple posts new updated iMacs to their site, the 20-inch 2.6 duo-core for $1,199, the 24-inch 2.6 duo-core for $1,499, the 24-inch 2.93 duo-core for $1,799, and the 24-inch 3.06 dual-core for $2,199. They also post new Mac Mini for $599 and $799. They featured the new NVIDIA GeForce 9400M graphics chip. All Mac Pros ran the Nehalem Xeon processors up to 2.93 gigahertz, $2,499 for a quad-core, and $3,299 for an 8-core Mac system. Also in 2009, Asus announces that they will be phasing out the 7-inch netbook to focus on the 10-inch netbook. California court tossed out the Gibson lawsuit to Guitar Hero. Basically, Gibson had a patent for the look of the guitar, known as the 405 patent, and Guitar Hero had infringed on it. However, it was determined that Gibson's suit only applies to anything that can put out an analog signal. Also, final arguments were made on the Pirate Bay trial as it came to a close. And defamation is the saddest attack. After a Long Island teen, Denise Finkel, discovers that classmates had set up a password-protected Facebook page, basically accusing her of having AIDS, being a drug user, and having inappropriate conduct with animals, she sues Facebook and now her ex-classmates for $3 million. And hopefully she won, at least with the classmates.
And that's your Day in Tech History. My name is Jeffrey Powers, www.dayintechhistory.com. All the show notes are over at wikizine.com, Geekazine's wiki. And of course, you can like the Facebook page and follow Twitter at Day in Tech Hist. Until tomorrow, take care. Day in Tech History is copyright 2015, JMP Enterprise and Geekazine.com.